Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, we can finally put a date on a massive move that we are going to see from ADA Cardano. We've been trying to plan for this move. We've been expecting and knowing that it's coming, and it is very, very obvious and clear of when we can start to expect this thing to happen. So what we've been paying close attention to with ADA is the reaction that it's had to this previous resistance level now established as support. So of course, as we did break out of this long-term downtrend in which we were in, it was not to be, surprised or surprising that if we did see a breakout that we may come back down to retest it. And of course, that's what it looks like we're doing. We've come back down to retest to make sure that this key level of support that we've been seeing over the last few months, honestly, ever even since back from this low that we set in July, if you just simply draw a trend line from this low that we set all the way to this one, it puts us directly on this line that we've been following. And so overall, it just seems as if the market and, Cardano holders or traders want to double check that this line is going to hold, that we're going to be able to maintain support in order to see a continuation to the upside or to shake out any investors who aren't ready for such a big move. Okay. And now what we can see is that as we are approaching the apex of this symmetrical triangle that's formed coming out of this trend line, we can see that it puts our intersection point at October 10th, which is 5 days from now. What this means for me is that we are going to see a bullish or bearish breakout within the next 5 days that will tell us a lot, a grand whopping load about what we need to expect for the next few weeks and next few months. So what I'm expecting to see happen personally is that we will see the breakout to the upside. When we're looking at things like Bitcoin, for example, seeing an absolutely amazing breakout and likely coming back up to retest this $53,000 level pretty soon here, I just don't see the market flipping on its head so much, so significantly that it causes ADA to come back down and start going back towards $2. Is it possible? 100%. And if it does happen, we're going to be well prepared for that. And we'll go over that, of course, if that does happen. But at the moment, I'm still feeling very bullish, and I think we are going to see this breakout to the top side. So if we are to see a breakout to the top side, what is that going to be followed by, and what can we expect? Well, what I'm looking for right now is, first and foremost, this RSI has served, this level that we're approaching at 48 has been historically significant for the continuations of bull runs. Now, let me explain. So what you can see right now is that throughout this entire move that we've been seeing, once we lost this level, we've been unable to recapture it, causing us to set these highs and never see that breakout. But if we do even look at the past, we can see that this has also served as significant as support. So we would come back down in these instances. Let's go ahead and clear these circles off now that you kind of see them. But you can see that we've come back down here. And as we've come down to set these lows as support right here, even right here, that when we would establish some support on this key level, we would then use it to go for that big move to the upside. Even in times like this, where we would lose it back down here, that moment that we recaptured that level, let's zoom in a little bit. That moment that we recaptured this level here, right exactly here, puts us right at this green bar. That moment that we would recapture it, we would then see that jolt to the upside or a massive move, a big explosion. And so what my expectancy is that if we are going to come back and capture this level on the RSI, that 48 level on the RSI, I think there is a very strong likelihood that we are going to start to see explosive movements to the upside. I don't have much doubt about that at all. And I think it is very, very likely that that is going to happen. Now, one thing we do need to pay attention to is that we don't start to roll over here, okay? We need to really realistically get above that 48 level. The reason being that we're on the daily charts right now, and as you can see, if we get rid of this line just for a second, we can see that there's been a bit of bearish divergence possibly forming, in which we've seen a high and then a higher high on the RSI. And if we just look at our charts here, we're setting lower highs in those same regions, okay? We're going lower highs there. Now, the great part about it is it does almost seem as if we're going to, if we do get this move to the upside, we can definitely correct that, which is great, right? If we see, the breakout to the upside, the clearing of the 48 level on the RSI, that'll put our, maybe a high somewhere up here. And then I think there's a very strong likelihood that our price will push up to around $2.36 to $2.48, which will more than likely come up to set this new high, which completely rules out this possible bearish divergence in which we could be forming. And so that's just something to keep an eye on. But I do think that the 48 level is going to be very important just in terms of getting this big move upside to the upside going and actually letting us see the momentum. Okay, so pay close attention to the RSI on the daily. Let's get above 48. If we get above 48, there's a very strong chance we are about to see this thing really take off. And that'll also be, working in tandem and in parallel with us seeing the price start to really move straight up out of this symmetrical triangle with a breakout to the top side. Now, again, the levels that we're looking for if we see the breakout to the top side, those are going to be our 786 levels. Now, I've already explained many times of how we find them. So, of course, if you do want to know how we find them, just go check out some of our previous videos. But right now, our first stop is going to be at 238. I do believe if we break out of the symmetrical triangle, 238 is going to happen pretty soon, in my opinion. From there, we have 260. Our final step is 284. And again, if we do clear all three of these levels, I'm fully under the belief that we are going to see a final setting of new all-time highs toward $3.42 at minimum. That's my opinion. You know, of course, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't see the future, but I do believe this to be a very strong possibility, and that if we do see that breakout, we start to push these levels, and we clear this 284, that we're going to see that breakout to $3.42, especially if we do see the rest of the market enter into the end of the year bull run. Okay, so overall, things are looking fantastic. If we do see a breakout to the downside of our symmetrical triangle, of course, just do make sure that we are able to stay above $1.90. But if that was to happen, I will update you guys as soon as possible. I don't think that this is likely right now, but if it does happen, of course, I will update you all ASAP on what we can expect and what a good game plan could be going forward. So definitely be looking forward to October 10th. I do believe that that is the final day that we can expect to see, you know, some type of breakout to the upside, especially as we get to that intersection point. And so it'll definitely get very interesting once this does happen. So with that being said, that is going to be about it for today's video. Do watch out for this. Pay close attention to this, as it is going to get really spicy, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Peace.